Muchachadas, sean bienvenidos a un nuevísimo video. Santa Mónica y Sony acaban de liberar un video en el cual vamos a hablar de cómo crearon la historia de God of War Ragnarok. No tengo idea qué esperar de este video, literalmente voy a reaccionar y voy a opinar. Sin más preámbulo, empecemos. Bueno, entonces vamos a ver la historia.
We're coming off of God of War 2018. How do you top that? How do you deliver something that players will love maybe just as much as God of War 2018? The pressure was tremendous.
Me imagino. Oh, ese es el mapa, los mapas que ponen en su coleccionista.
My name is Ariel Angelotti, and I am the senior producer for narrative.
My name is Richard Gobert. I'm the story lead for God of War Ragnarok.
I'm Jody Kupsko, and I'm the supervising dialogue designer.
It's my job to shape the story along with our writing team, our narrative director, and game director.
As a producer,
Oh, ahí está. Mi muchacho. Bruno Velázquez, director de animación. Bueno.
it's my job to
Orgullo
help
mexicano.
build a team to create that content, to own the schedule in realizing that content.
I oversee the dialogue production throughout the entire titles. Every line of dialogue that you hear, every human vocalization and effort and grunt, our team touches.
So I'm a man now. Like you?
No. We are not men. We are more than that. The responsibility is far greater.
In the story of
Somos dioses, obviamente.
God of War 2018, we find Kratos seemingly having turned over a new leaf in the Norse lands. He lives a quiet life, hidden in the woods with his wife Faye and their son Atreus. And the story starts with them mourning her death. And we learn that she made a final request before she passed away. She wanted them to spread her ashes from the highest peak in all the 9 realms. He's scared of being a bad father, a bad influence, and as a result, it's made him an absent father. His greatest fear is that he's passed that evil that's inside of him onto his son.
You are too quick to temper. You are rash, insubordinate, and out of control. This will not stand. You will honor your mother and abandon this path you have chosen. It is not too late.
Bueno, pues sí, ¿no? Kratos, me imagino, tiene mucho miedo de que este ciclo de padre matando hijo y de dejándose los dioses llevar por su arrogancia y su maldad le haya pasado al hijo. Pues justamente es algo que, de lo que me imagino él quiere dejar atrás, de lo que él huyó el rato que dejó Grecia. Inclusive se le ve en los cómics precuela de cuando va a Egipto. Él quiere dejar atrás su pasado.
They befriend Freya, who is an exiled Vanir goddess who used to be married to Odin. They meet Mimir, the self-proclaimed smartest man alive, who serves as their guide and their confidant. And they meet the Holdra brothers, Brock and Sindri, who are world-class weaponsmiths who end up their main source of upgrades and equipment. Now, among the enemies they make are the Aesir gods, whose leader is none other than Odin, someone we never meet in God of War 2018, but who casts a very long and dark shadow over the 9 realms.
There are consequences to killing a god!
Why? How do you know? How do you know?
Porque ya lo he hecho, pues perro.
After many adventures, Kratos and Atreus end up fulfilling Mom's wishes, and over the course of that journey, they find out more about each other and about themselves, and finally find a common ground between them.
Me encanta esa escena, más allá de que completaron, bueno, más allá de que ahí están los gigantes muertos, pues completaron el viaje. Y más que nada, Kratos por fin logra abrazar a su hijo. Es muy emotivo porque a lo largo del juego él trata de expresar su emoción, de ser un padre cariñoso justamente. Pero le cuesta, tanto ha sufrido a lo largo de su vida que le cuesta expresar sus sentimientos. Les comentaba en un video previo, ¿no? Me encanta también un diálogo donde el muchacho cree que el padre no está triste por la muerte de la esposa. Y Kratos le dice, tú lleva tu duelo como te plazca, yo haré lo mismo. No confundas mi silencio con falta de duelo. Y es porque justamente, claro, él se come todo. Se lo guarda bien adentro.
They become the close family unit that Faye hoped that they would become.
Interesante saber.
In God of War Ragnarok, we fast forward a few years, and little Atreus is now a teen, and they're back to hiding out in their home in the woods in Midgard.
Pero esa no es la casa de ellos.
During the course of the previous game's events, they were forced to kill Odin's grandchildren, Magni and Modi, the sons of Thor. Thor...
Pero está muerto. Modi. Magni definitivamente sí, pero Modi...
does a lot of the lion's share of Odin's dirty work, and as a consequence, he's a very violent, unstable personality. At the end of the last game, they were also forced to kill Balder, the son of Odin and Freya, and that has its own set of consequences. He was a very powerful chess piece for Odin, one that Odin is incredibly bitter about losing. Freya has vowed vengeance against them for the killing of her son. Kratos and Atreus didn't want to kill him, they were friends with Freya, but Balder tried to kill her in front of them, and Kratos had no other option in the moment but to kill him to save Freya's life, even though it meant losing Freya's friendship.
I will parade your cold body from every corner of every realm and feed your soul to the vilest filth in hell. That is my promise.
Bueno, aquí realmente sí me encanta. La tragedia me fascinó, es de las cosas mejor escritas del juego. Freya se enemista con Kratos, a pesar de que, estoy seguro, el propio Baldur agradeció haber muerto por fin. Freya, por la profecía de que el hijo iba a morir, le mete este hechizo para ser invulnerable, pero a la vez le impide sentir cualquier dolor o placer. Y el pobre Baldur odió a su madre, porque pasó probablemente siglos sin poder saborear comidas, ya sentir dolor, o si estaba con alguna pareja, no sentía nada. Eso era una maldición, y Baldur quería zafarse de esa maldición como sea. Entonces más bien creo que Baldur hubiese agradecido, gracias, me libraste, porque no es vida. Lo que estaba teniendo Baldur no era una vida real. Claro, aquí dicen, para Odín era realmente un elemento muy importante Baldur, porque era invulnerable. Pero luego ves la perspectiva de Freya. Ella era feliz siendo odiada por el hijo, en tanto que el hijo esté vivo. Pero totalmente desconectada del sufrimiento que el hijo estaba pasando por culpa de ella. O sea, increíble, pero me encanta, me encanta.
And feed your soul to the vilest filth in hell. That is my promise.
He saved your life.
He robbed me of everything.
Y tú le arrebataste a tu hijo de todo. No seas tan egoísta.
Everything.
His death is also foretold to bring about Fimbulwinter, which is a brutal 3-year winter that is then followed by Ragnarok. It's an apocalyptic war between all the Norse gods, the giants, the dwarves, and the elves, and an army of the dead. They're all destined.
¡Ay, eso quiero ver! El ejército de los muertos, porque se supone que Hela, que sería nieta de Kratos, es la que tiene que comandar eso.
To fight in a battle that basically ends the world. Kratos is understandably worried about his son and what it means for him.
Tengo la idea de que esta escena es nueva, o estoy mal acordado de los trailers. Estoy casi seguro que esta escena es nueva. Bueno, no hay mucho novedoso que vea yo aquí, más allá de que el muchacho está como que hubiese visto un fantasma, está asustado y preocupado.
His son and what it means for him.
You get to go on this journey with how Atreus grows into a young adult and how Kratos grows into his next era in his life and really see kind of
Creo que también es nuevo esto, ¿no?
the parent that he's striving to be, but the person he's striving to be. I find that tale so incredibly relatable.
Más allá de lo que están hablando, ¿será que vamos a hacer misiones solo con Atreus? Porque aquí da la impresión que Kratos le está mandando a hacer cosas.
And he's striving to be. I find that tale so incredibly relatable.
We had started shooting plenty of content before the pandemic hit. In fact, the week before we all went work from home, we were doing a
Está la
shoot.
actriz que hace de Angerbota. La actriz que hace de Angerbota.
The week before we all went work from home,
Y wow, qué grande que está el muchacho que hacía de Atreus. Bueno,
we were doing a shoot. I remember being on and off that set, running back to the office and having to talk to studio leadership about what was going down and how this was going to impact us moving forward. And those were trying times.
For us, it was a very unique challenge because we had to bring in actors and we had to record them. And so we had to look at different ways of adapting our typical motion capture process and dialogue recording process so we can continue production and continue at the quality that we wanted for our players and our fans.
We had some actors stand in for other characters, actors who were already, who were like core to one of the scenes, might just be able to play a background character in another scene to be able to avoid a situation where too many
este creo que es Thor, me parece. Claro, que estaba con el martillito.
people were on set on any given day. We avoided compromising the story that we were trying to tell as a result of the pandemic and these limitations that we had to deal with. There were no cinematics that we changed. We still have the same characters in them in the final game. We just had to get a bit creative with how we shot the content.
Our actor for Atreus, Sonny, is a teenage boy, and his voice changed dramatically throughout the several years on this.
Obviamente la voz le va a cambiar si es un cambio medio brusco. Igual en un año pues pasamos de medir algo y ¡pah! Ya luego 15 centímetros más. Se llama pubertad.
Title.
I don't want to fight anyone. I just want answers.
We had to go in and even out that performance so it sounds like it took place over a short period of time. That was a unique challenge on this one.
The prophecies say Fimbulwinter leads to Ragnarok. War is coming.
Whether the Norse saga was going to be a trilogy or just 2 games was something we debated a lot. There were obviously pros and cons for either approach. So we waited for Cory Barlog to weigh in, and he did, and he said, let's do it in 2.
The consequence to that is, how do you wrap up the story in one game and do Ragnarok justice? How do we lead up to that and then have a big moment at the end of the game and wrap up all those loose threads? This game is bigger than what we initially envisioned. There's a lot of important story moments that we needed to cover. There are more characters.
Pues claro, o sea, es que esto no cabe la menor duda, ¿no? Es la mayor duda que creo que muchos fans tenemos. Dejaste un montón de cabos sueltos en el juego anterior. Todos creo que esperábamos una trilogía. Vas a hacerlo solo en 2. Ok. ¿Lo lograrás? Hacer de una forma satisfactoria al menos.
Threads. This game is bigger than what we initially envisioned. There's a lot of important story moments that we needed to cover. There are more characters that we follow the threads of. And ultimately, it ends up feeling big and epic because there is a lot there for people to enjoy.
I am very excited for folks to see this final chapter. A lot happens. We put our characters through the ringer, but we also bring them closure and we provide answers to a lot of the questions the first game posed.
Me parece que tercera también es nueva. Kratos está queriendo ir a la luz. Recuerden, cuando vas a la luz del Alfheim, como que ves recuerdos, como que tienes un vistazo a memorias o sentimientos, etc. Freya, la primera vez que van, ¿no? En el primer juego, le advierte, no estés mucho tiempo ahí porque te vas a perder. Te vas a perder en tus propios sentimientos. Y aquí vemos que el niño le dice, Kratos quiere ir de nuevo. Y el niño está como, no.
Just all of the new combat that we're doing and the new interactions. There's a lot of stuff that's happening in this title that I think people are going to have fun with.
We all have our own personal Ragnaroks to deal with. And this story is about how you process that, how you own it, and how you make it a part of yourself and grow from it.
I mean, we set some stuff up at the end of last game. There's going to be some consequences this game. We're going to see how things play out between Freya and Kratos. We're going to see how the evolution of the family relationship continues. You got Brock and Sindri, the dwarves, who are kind of part of your makeshift family now. And there's going to be some other characters that we introduce that maybe going to disrupt the balance a little bit. I can't wait until players get their hands on the game, are able to experience how the story unfolds for themselves.
We have, I think, an incredibly well-rounded game. Very satisfying combat, beautiful and rich environments to explore.
Este también es nuevo, pero es el reino de los elfos. Estábamos con Tyr ahí.
Outstanding character art, a lush and moving soundtrack and soundscape. It's the work of hundreds of very dedicated artists, and they all have their own stories to tell.
Me ha encantado el video. Pues si alguien tenía dudas, creo que aquí ya nos dejaron aclarar una cosa, ¿no? Dice, este último capítulo, cómo íbamos a concluir la saga nórdica. O sea, si alguien tenía dudas de si iba a continuar God of War después de esto, obviamente va a continuar, solo que ya no en el mundo nórdico, pues obviamente van a continuar en otro lado, lo cual me parece fantástico, brillante. Me ha encantado, y las pocas cinemáticas nuevas también están muy buenas, especialmente cuando vemos interactuar al padre y al hijo. Está muy bonito. Está muy bonito, honestamente. Muy emotivo. Solo le deseo lo mejor al juego. Y que sea un cierre digno de la primera entrega. Entonces, bueno, eso con respecto de cómo Santa Mónica creó la historia. Me ha encantado el video. Déjenme saber ustedes en los comentarios qué opinan aquí. No se olviden de suscribir. No se olviden de comentar. Y nos vemos conmigo en el siguiente.